Episode 56 BB. Concluding sentence of article about Alaska Legislature versus Federal EPA regulations. Efforts include a broad-ranging program at the University of Alaska Fairbanks, California, Mountain View. ROSEP View. ROSEP is interested in alternatives to residential wood burning, such as the best alternative, electric heat pumps that operate at temperatures well below zero, powered by wind and solar energy. Switch to electrification of stoves, water heaters, and furnaces, and entire homes. New heat pumps can work at temperatures well below freezing and can act as air conditioners. Financial assistance is offered to low-income residents changing over to cleaner or clean energy. New rules to phase out gas appliances stoke excitement, anxiety on the Peninsula News. Mountain View Voice. They also react with other airborne chemicals to form fine particulate matter, PM2.5, and ozone, according to Air District staff. Excerpts edited by ROSEP for brevity and clarity, and relevance to residents against wood smoke emission particulates. Interest in alternatives to residential wood burning for home heating. New rules to phase out gas appliances stoke excitement, anxiety on the peninsula. San Francisco, California, Bay Area Air Quality Management District aims to gradually switch homes and businesses to electric water heaters, furnaces. March 22, 2023. A new all-electric heating, ventilation, and air conditioning unit is lifted by a crane during its installation process on the rooftop of the Peninsula Conservation Center in Palo Alto, California. When Palo Alto and Menlo Park launched their respective efforts to wean residents off natural gas appliances and promote electrification, both cities treated the switch as a valuable but risky proposition. In each case, city officials view electrification as a key step on their road to sustainability. Both have adopted rules that require new developments to feature all-electric water heaters and space heaters. At the same time, both opted not to require residents to convert from gas to electric, citing the high costs of replacing equipment and an unreliable electric grid. These risks took on a new sense of urgency for the region last week, when the Bay Area Air Quality Management District adopted new regulations that will make the region the first in the nation to ban sales and installation of new gas appliances. After a debate, the district's board of directors voted 20-0 to amend its regulations so that gas-fueled appliances will be phased out in jurisdictions, which includes Alameda, Contra Costa, Marin, San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Clara, and Napa counties, and portions of Solano and Sonoma counties. The new policy takes aim at oxides of nitrogen, NOx, pollutants that are a byproduct of combustion and that, according to district officials, cause harm to both air quality and health. NOx reacts with other airborne chemicals to form fine particulate matter, PM2.5, and ozone. The policy could reduce NOx emissions reductions by 3,236 tons per year. Menlo Park already requires electric space heaters and hot water heaters in new construction, a law that took effect in January 2020. To date, however, the council has not mandated electrification in existing buildings, opting to instead rely on outreach, education, and financial assistance for low-income residents. Palo Alto has also adopted an electric-only requirement for water and space heating in new developments. Palo Alto also this year aims to convert 1,000 customers to heat pump water heaters this year through a streamlined approval process and on-bill financing that allows them to spread out payments for the new appliance. 421 customers have opted into the Palo Alto program so far. These local efforts will help local cities prepare for the Air District's new rules once they start taking effect in 2027. The Air Districts eased the challenges of electrification by incorporating a timeline that prioritizes technologies that are more readily available and require less power. By the time these rules kick in regionally, hopefully will be a model for other cities. California, electric vehicle ownership. ROSEP View, like switching from residential wood burning to the cleaner alternatives of wind and solar power for electric heat pumps that can work at temperatures well below zero, switching to electric car use has barriers for rural residents. Barriers to rural California residents obtaining and using electric cars include the higher price of electric cars and the lack of enough charging stations in rural areas. Barriers to rural resident use of electric heat pumps that must be also overcome include price of electric heat pumps and lack of current solar and wind generation of electricity on a modern electric grid extending to rural areas. These barriers to heat pump use and electric car use must be overcome to ensure a clean energy future. California electric car demographics. Who buys electric cars, and who doesn't? Excerpt edited by Rozep for brevity and clarity. In summary, communities with high concentrations of electric cars are affluent, college-educated, and at least 75% white and Asian. In contrast, electric cars are almost non-existent in Black, Latino, low-income, and rural communities, revealing the enormous task that California faces electrifying the entire fleet. Atherton in San Mateo County, with an average home value of almost $7.5 million and average household income exceeding $500,000, has California's highest percentage of electric cars. About 1 out of every 7, or 14%, of Atherton's 6,261 cars are electric. A statewide analysis of zip codes reveals a picture of who owns electric vehicles in California. Most are in Silicon Valley cities and affluent coastal areas of Los Angeles and Orange counties. California tries to electrify its 25 million cars to battle climate change, clean up its severe air pollution, and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. Under a state mandate enacted last year, 35% of cars sold in California, beginning with 2026 models, must be zero emissions, ramping up to 68% in 2030 and 100% in 2035. Cost of an electric car in California average as of February was $58,385, about $9,600 more than the average car, although it dropped from about $65,000 last year. Lower-end fully electric cars start around $27,500. The goal is to give consumers confidence in the reliability and affordability of the cars and confidence in the electric car range and charging availability. About 838,000 electric cars were on California's roads in 2021, and under the state mandate, it's expected to surge to 12.5 million by 2035. CalMatters, author of a study, compared the zip codes of 2021 electric car registrations with census information on the race, income, and education of people in those zip codes. Electric cars include battery-only models, plug-in hybrids, and fuel cell electric vehicles. Zip codes with fewer than 1,000 residents were excluded from the analysis. Black and Latino residents, who make up almost half of California's population, are half as likely as whites to have access to a public charger, according to a study. Disparities in access are also higher in areas with more multi-unit housing. Interest in electric cars is high across all incomes and races, according to a 2019 survey. Tesla in January slashed prices for all models by 20%, making the cars eligible for a $7,500 federal tax credit. Base prices are now $55,000 and $90,000. 2 weeks later, Ford cut the price of its Mustang Mach-E by 6% to 9% to a starting price of $46,000. The Air Board last year approved $326 million in purchase incentives for low-income consumers. Eligible residents can receive up to $15,000 for a new electric car and up to $19,500 for trading in a gas car. The programs accept applications from residents with incomes at or below 300% of the federal poverty level, equivalent to $43,740 for an individual or $90,000 for a family of 4. In recent years, the programs have experienced inconsistent and inadequate funding. Last year, low-income consumers were turned away, funding had run out, and wait lists were shut down because of backlogs. Problems